Hey guys, and welcome to one more episode of Builder Nation. For today's agenda, we have Carissa Campeotto, co-founder and CMO at Trendi, the company using robotics to rescue food. So welcome, Carissa. Super excited to have you here at Builder Nation.
Yeah, thank you so much for hosting myself and Trendi. We're very excited to be here today. Trendi was an accumulation of my experience and my partner Craig's experience. Back in 2016, I was operating a cold pressed juice and smoothie bar as an operating partner. And, we were using organic produce at that time. And it was very expensive. And every week the product was fluctuating in price, often to a point where, the price of our juice was getting up so high that people couldn't afford it. And it really bugged me because I wanted to be able to provide health and nutrition to everyone, not just those who could afford it, right? And so my mentor at the time, Christine Collier, who is also the president of Trendi now, she said to me, Carissa, what if you were to try using misfit fruits and vegetables in your juices instead of conventional ones or organic ones? And, you could probably save a bit of money doing that, but, you have to do a bit of legwork in building your buying group, right? Who are you going to buy from on a consistent basis? So I had this little light bulb that went off. And I said, oh my God, I have to try this. So I started calling people and I'm like, hey, you have any misfit bananas and fruits and veggies? They're like, yeah, oh yeah, come by my place. I have some stuff over here. And within 1 year, we were able to rescue 40,000 kilos of otherwise wasted produce and reduce the cost of our product by 40%. The best part about that was clients at the juice bar were then able to enjoy that cost savings as well. So the product became more affordable to them, which was our goal at the very beginning. So in this situation, I learned upcycling through a business problem. And that was when I was introduced to it. After that, I took a bit of time off work and I was really, feeling this pressure of corporate world and just like, go, 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 always, 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 always. And I didn't like the way, people were communicating and, this dictatorship of business, I was really like, And that was when I was like, the next thing that I want to do is to build a business that is an example of the future, not of what we continue to bring terrible things from our past into the future of our businesses. A place that would be inclusive, the place that would, support not only the 9-to-5 schedule, but to support single mothers so that they could participate and work at different times of the day when needed. And, I think we've done a really good job at Trendi doing so. And that's really, aside from the robotics and the upcycling, I would say that has been one of the most interesting journeys so far at Trendi, is really cultivating and building this community of like-minded individuals. And so my partner, and just to get back to finishing the story here, is Craig. He was in commercial kitchens and building them out across 17 different countries and 400 concepts. So from commercial kitchens to restaurants, food trucks, large scale resorts and hotels. And he had been implementing food waste reduction programs in his kitchens for 17 years. And so when we connected, we started talking about this idea of automating smoothie bars. And that's what we did with the smoothie machine. But when COVID hit, we had to go back to the drawing board because foot traffic for our vending kiosks wasn't going to come back anytime soon. And so we started looking at what would the rescue and capture of otherwise wasted food at the farm level look like? How could we automate that problem? How could we automate the problem of food waste or food loss at the farm? And so that's where Biotrim was born during COVID. And ever since then, Trendi has grown. We scaled our business from 2 to 50 people in less than a year. And that's not inclusive of our international independent contractors. We've raised over $10 million this year to ensure that the future of Trendi is safe. And has the foundation that it needs to attract global attention, because We wanted to build a solution that would be, one day accessible to other countries so that we could impact this on a global level.
Wow, I think this is a really interesting story. How you started? I mean, if we can put it like that, with nothing, and then you had readapt when the pandemic came, and things keep coming and they will keep coming, and you will have to keep making changes. But at the end of the day, I think your vision is really clear, and that's the key of success at Trendi. So congratulations on that. And I also wanted to ask, I know that you guys were just invited to the Smart Kitchen Summit this year, and you have been nominated for different kinds of awards. So what would you say this means for Trendi?
Yeah, awards are amazing, right? They are, especially in the startup phase, when your company is young, getting awards at that time is really great way to showcase that the business is making progress, right? And it's getting to the next level. And it's important. It really helps the conversations with investors. Institutional groups love these conversations, and they like to better understand the reasons behind these awards, right? And Trendi continues to win innovation awards. We have a total of 4 this year. So I think that Trendi has, this has been really great for Trendi. It's really definitely helped push our story farther, and has helped give us some credibility in areas where, as a new company, people are wondering, oh, do they know what they're doing?
And what would you say it has been the biggest progress you have made since you started the company?
Oh boy. Well, the team has been a big progress, right? That's something that is always growing and adjusting and refining. But I think from a technology perspective, Trendi has phenomenal engineers, and our engineering team is working day in and day out. Not only the projects that you see on our website, but there is a lot of projects behind the scenes that we do that we were not able to speak about at this point, right? Because they're very large scale projects. And what I love about our team, and I'm just speaking specifically about the engineering team, because I feel they never get enough credit. They're generally behind the scenes. They're not often in the press releases, but they're really the minds, constructing the solutions, right, for the future. And so, yeah, I think they have made phenomenal progress. When I see what we, when I hung out with them, we put our Biotrim mobile unit in the field in August, and we launched it this fall to the community here in Vancouver. And they were so excited. They said, I started at Trendi when this was not even a blueprint yet. And for them to be standing in front of it and playing with it and showing everybody how to use it, it was so awesome to see that. And so, yeah, I really appreciate them. I think they have their strong foundation has really allowed Trendi to progress and to consider larger projects than we would have maybe projected at this time last year. So that's one area. But also, I think we're progressing in how to deal with the problem, right? So when we first started at Trendi, and we were looking at this concept of mobile processing, right? Which we've executed, and we're currently certifying and testing here in Vancouver. And so I think what Trendi has done a phenomenal job of is identifying that the problem is bigger than what we thought it was. And we started innovating solutions behind the scenes to solve those problems, and work very closely with select partners. And because we've done that, we've changed our model in a sense that, originally we were thinking we're just going to service one business or one farm or one processor with a mobile unit or a small unit for their facility. And quickly we looked at a more inclusive and a collaborative approach. And this is called our macro processor. And so our macro processor, can have hundreds of thousands of kilos of processing capacity if needed, because our data is linear to a certain threshold, right? And so being able to process that amount of capacity means you can process for an entire community. So instead of us just working with one group, we now have 10 or 15 farms sending all their otherwise wasted materials to this unit. And because we have more space in these units, we don't only look at one-dimensional processing. It's like, let's turn this apple into apple powder and sell it to the culinary world, right? We're able to fraction, let's call it a tomato, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we take that tomato and we separate it for its skin, its seeds, its flesh, and its vines. And we're able to then put them through different processing scenarios and having 4 different outputs instead of 1. And providing solutions not only for the culinary industry, but textiles, papers and pulps, massive industrial applications. So that we're very excited about our macro capabilities and our projects, and we'll be launching our first one in Ecuador in Q1, at the end of Q1 of 2023. So we're very excited about this. Trendi has invested in this project. This is a corporately owned facility, and we will also be launching our smoothie vending machines back into the market for the second time here in Vancouver. Yes. So we'll have 25 machines circulating in Vancouver by the end of January of 2023.
I mean, that was actually my next question. Like, what's next for Trendi? You just answered. Wow, this is really exciting. And also you have the dates. I mean, January is like tomorrow. So congratulations on that. This is super exciting. You're expanding, you're growing, you're launching, you're relaunching.
Relaunching.
Exactly. So, wow, I think it's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing the process. And I mean, since you already answered what's next for Trendi, which I think is amazing, I wanted to ask, like, what would you say is the biggest piece of advice you can give for future entrepreneurs starting on this path?
Startup life is not easy. Don't expect it to be. And don't be afraid to make adjustments when you realize something isn't working, because doing the same thing that isn't working every day, it doesn't get you in a better place, right? And if you're an innovation, innovation, it can eat us alive if we don't set our boundaries. I'm a big supporter of mental health awareness, and I myself have been sick in the past due to overwhelming amount of work stress. And so what I tell to my friends in innovation is that if you're innovating, make sure that you're innovating for your future and for your business, but you're also taking the time to take care of yourself, because innovation can all eat us all alive if we're not careful.
Wow, especially, I mean, being the founder, I think the amount of stress anyone can have or can get, yeah, it can damage somehow your mental health.
It can, and we've faced so many supply chain issues, not just Trendi, but the whole world. But I thank our investors at Trendi for always being there to support us during times that are not so easy, because without them, there's money is fuel for innovation, right? And that is an important part, and respecting money through the process is equally as important.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for taking the time, for being super honest. Do you have any social media handles? Where can people find you? Where can people follow you or Trendi?
Yeah, you can find us on LinkedIn. So find us under Trendi. We also have trendy.technology as our Instagram accounts. And if you want to check out our website, trendi.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carissa. And remember, guys, that you can also find more information, interesting articles, interesting interviews, just like this one with Carissa, directly on our website, controlhub.com/realtor-nation. We would love to hear from you. And once again, Carissa, thank you so much for taking the time. I know that you're super busy. Thank you so much for being super open with us at the podcast and for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here today and for our lovely discussion.